Beyonce, just came out of the blue and hit the world by storm, and I've made country music, modern, contemporary type of music, which everybody can relate to and identify, and she has done great. So it's a time for country music.
Ride, 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 ride. I'm a cowboy, riding every day, every day. When me jump on my horse and me draw in me whip, tucking on me saddle and take a little sip.
From a former superintendent of police to a stylish country reggae artist, Wesrok has been creating a huge buzz with his unique musical blend for the past years and is here today on a special star feature to tell us some more about his journey, to motivate others to follow their dreams, and also to delve into the creative energy behind his most recent single, Ride Cowboy Ride. Hi Wesrok, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
It's Wesrok. Always happy to be here to share my story.
All right, so just briefly introduce yourself to the viewers, to some persons who still don't know who is Wesrok, like where you're from, what was it like for you growing up, and how you go from Percival Budan to Wesrok.
Well, it's Wesrok, the best rock. Yeah, otherwise called Percival Budan. Yeah, that's a name that was given to me by birth. I grew up in a little town called Bogwalk in St. Catherine. For many persons who know that district, it's a rural community, and I came from a humble beginning. My mother struggled to grow up 9 boys. I have no sisters, so you can understand why I have the passion for music, because I'm always singing for the ladies. Yeah, So life was really a struggle for me, growing up. But I was happy for the struggle because I learned from an early age that only through hard working, dedication, and believing in yourself that you can make it. So education was my first goal. My mother taught me that. So God bless her soul. So I grew up with that kind of philosophy. But in those days, country music was really the highlight of the moment, because when you grew up in those days in Jamaica, you grew up listening to country music, and you have some great singers like Kenny Rogers, Charlie Pride, Marty Robin. I recall I had to travel miles to go and listen to a Charlie Pride every Sunday morning, because we weren't privileged at that time to have the kind of musical systems in our homes, like television otherwise. But a few people in the community were privileged than others. So I had to go and listen. So my musical career started when I was much younger, Why I moved towards listening to music and what music brought to me was the kind of peace and serenity of being able to understand myself and my whole purpose in life, I believe in nature, and music for me, it gives me that peace of mind. When you're going through struggles and so on, music gives you a chance to reflect on where you are, where you're coming from, and where you want to go. And so at that time, I believe that I had to do a lot to help myself to make it in life. I didn't think that music would have been my first career choice, because during that time, to escape from rural poverty, as many scholastic persons would regard it as, definitely music was not the best opportunity to escape. You would have to either be a post Mr. or Mrs. Policeman, a fireman, or anything of the sort to work with government, and I enlisted the police force, got away from country, and always look forward to come back to my neighborhood at Mountain when I have a little money in my pocket to, to perhaps come with a little difference in terms of a pair of shoes or a new pants or shirt, because at that time, drinking and flossing wasn't really a part of my thing at all. It was more like, using the force as a stepping stone and to see what is out there otherwise that I can move towards. And, whilst being in the force, I did all what I could to live a exemplary life, and to set the right examples. But I always believed that there was always something out there for me, and I continue to believe in myself, and I continue to go back to school. I went from a situation where I had perhaps 1 or 2 subjects to a situation where I got 5 to 6 subjects, matriculated for university, and education was really a joy for me. I was hungry for education. I moved from 1 degree, then I said, if I got 1 degree, why didn't I go to another? I moved to a master's, and I moved to another master's, and then when I check it out, time was really catching up on me. I couldn't go for the doctorate. But then I moved into business.
So was this always a passion of yours, even when you were fighting crime?
Yes, music has always in my bones, any musicians or artists in general will tell you that music finds you.
True.
The music is the greatest love of all, once it's in you, you just can't escape, So that's how it is. It has always been in me.
Okay, so was it a case of when you decided to leave the force, was it a case of passion meets purpose why you left your job, or it was a case where you got to the age of retirement and you started chasing your dreams?
Oh, when I actually left the force, I actually didn't reach the age of retirement. But I was identified with a new sense of purpose. I began to see so many different purposes in life that I could move to. Because remember, I said that I saw the force as a stepping stone, and I really bless my days in the force because it has been a wonderful experience for me. So many people will tell you when I went into training school, I had my guitar on my back, and I
brought
had
music with you.
An attache case.
Yeah.
So the attache case symbolizes a businessman, and the guitar symbolizes a musician. So you can see from an early stage that I had this passion in me. So yes, the music has always been in me, and when I went into business, the sky just was the limit.
Okay. Well, was there any point in your career while you were in the force, you had like a mental struggle to, choose? You were at that place where you were like, deliberating, should I continue with this or should I just give it up and to pursue my passion?
Well, I should say that business and music run simultaneously in my vein, By the time I got around to say, think about what life is going to be for me, I have to think about the bread and butter, and music was never the option for me to really, survive off, so I just saw it as a passion, whatever comes with just being involved with it, I will see as the day goes by. But music, became that interest of mine to work alongside with whatever other purpose that I had. As I said, I had different ideas about what life is going to be for me.
Okay.
So it was really for me to secure a career wherein I can, be comfortable in life and also pursue my dream, which was music.
Okay.
So, it's still is in an embryonic stage, I would believe. And it's just to see how much I can do, because at the end of the day, for me, because of where I'm coming from, I think I have a huge message
Yeah.
For people out there. And music has been a channel to send that message, because I'm not only talking to people in Jamaica now, I'm talking to people around the world. So when I have people responding to a song, when I put out a song from Australia, Africa, India, I feel very good to know that I'm reaching somebody.
Yeah.
So most of my song is about my life story. There are one or two that, is probably following a dancing trend like Ride Cowboy Ride.
Yeah.
But again, it's a song I would like to talk about.
Yeah.
As soon as we get there.
I will get there with you. And what would you say that message is that you know that you're here to send?
Well, first and foremost, the first message I would like to say is that you have to identify yourself with God, because without God, you are nothing. It's impossible. You have to have a force outside that is going to create that balance in you as a person. And once you have acknowledged that, there's a sense of direction that is going to come over your life, and you have to be able to listen to that voice. Then you have to believe in yourself, that once there's a will, there's a way. Whatever you can conceive, you can achieve. And that has always been my philosophy. And then you have to set goals and priorities. You have to be able to rule out things that are not essential, that is going to be a part of helping you to realize your goals.
Yeah.
And you have to set realistic goals. And just save your money.
And those are the messages you normally preach or channel through your music.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And on that note, what would be your advice to people who are in a similar position, or who were in a position that you were in, and their desire and passion to fulfill a particular career is being somewhat blighted by their regular 9-to-5? What would be your advice to them?
Well, I will say to people out there, once you have identified your passion and your dream, just keep following. Taking steps to get it to a start. Because once you start something, there is a way to end it. And even though you might not have all the ideas when you start, just making that first step is the most important thing. Because when I went into the studio, it was during the pandemic.
COVID, yeah.
And I wouldn't probably before that think of going into the studio. It was just a dream. But when I got into the studio, because at that time you didn't have many people going into studio.
Yeah.
I was able to go into the studio and able to listen to my song and myself, for the first time. And then I recall a gentleman came into the studio when I was singing a song, and he said, "Well, I didn't know Kenny Rogers is in Jamaica." And he made some utterances. I wouldn't want to say it now. And that was really an inspiration for me to know that someone can, from their heart, not knowing who it is, say something, and then it blossom into exactly what the person is saying. So if I didn't make the start and I didn't try to do something, I wouldn't get the feedback. I wouldn't be able to listen to myself. Somebody wouldn't be able to come and say,
you.
"That's good. Come on." So I do it again and again and again.
That's great.
Yes.
Okay, and how long did you say you spent in the force?
Well, I spent over 10 years in the force.
Okay.
And as I said, it was a glorious time.
Because you started your career in 2020, the first.
2020.
or sing for them. And they go to the parishes and sing.
Yes.
Oh, you never mentioned that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I was asking if you had like a point in your career while you were in the force where you were at a crossroad really to choose. Because if you were intertwining or incorporating it while you're there, then I mean you were still channeling the same energy throughout.
Right.
So,
So actually, because the passion was in me, in answering the question, I used to participate in whatever opportunities that I get to sing. But it was not a situation where I was thinking of giving up a career for the next,
Okay.
because music wasn't an option for me during that time.
It was just a passion.
It was a passion.
Yeah.
But I love music, and whatever opportunities that I get, it was a learning process, because when I sing and people enjoy it, it pushed me to go further. This is why I say you have to make the first step, so yes, I used to sing a lot.
Okay, great. And I know that they even have a choir in the force
yes.
as well. But you never happened to join in. You just participate in
I
one-off
wasn't
events.
the kind of choir singer,
Okay.
But when they had the 125th anniversary
Oh, yeah.
with persons like A.J. Forbes, there was a strong contingent of police right across the island who were following their musical, passion.
Brilliant.
And I recall during that time, there were a number of other persons, senior persons, who felt that the public needed to see a softer side of the JCF.
Oh.
And so by going around in the communities and having concerts and interacting with people, people began to see the other side of the police. So during that era, I think it was the catalyst for a lot of the musical talents you see going around here now. So music is used as a tool to bridge the gap between communities and police.
Okay, all right. Let's go over to the music side now for a bit. After releasing your first single in 2020 titled Looking Back, what was the reception and feedback like for you that motivated you to go on?
All right. I am focusing on my wife telling me to do this and do that.
I'm distracted.
I can't
distract
focus.
him. Don't distract him for me, please. She do demonstrate, she give directions.
And I can't understand. I listen to you, I listen to she.
If you control Miss Karen.
And I can't listen to the question.
All right, listen to me.
Not ready again.
Focus on me. And then if anything, you can ask us to pause and then you can give him directions, okay? Because as him saying, now go focus on both of us. All right. After releasing your first single in 2020 titled Looking Back, what was the reception and feedback like that kept you going?
Well, that was the first song. And as the song says, looking back, it really was a pivotal point in my life, because my son, Malachi, was doing music at the time. And he was doing well. He had quite a few good songs. So I was pushing his career. And then I realized that he was competing with different things. So the music side was more, I'm trying to push him.
Okay.
But then, because I've always had music in my blood, I said, all right, instead of pushing him, let him do what he's doing. And when he is ready to make the move again, I'll assist him. So why not push my career as a musician then and show him that I can do it?
Be an example.
Exactly. So that's when Wesrok was born. So I did that first song. And I think L.A. Lewis was around at that time. And he was one of those persons who said, he was calling me names when he hear me started singing. And that's how the name Wesrok came about, actually.
Yeah, I'm glad you
So, L.A. Lewis, amidst the many, controversial things, he also is a very smart person, So, when I did that song, it was a autobiography, on my son. Looking back in my life, there's so many things to say.
Yeah, I
so many things. So I started the journey with that, with those few words.
And was it like a motivational factor for you moving on when you got the feedback and all the the reception?
Yes.
What was it like?
Yes. So I said it started with L.A. Lewis said, but when I listened to that song, I see goose pimples all over my body. That was his reaction. And things like those motivate you because it helps you to understand where you can go with this thing.
Yeah.
And people now starts to give me a lot of encouragement to say, well, listen, this thing is going to be big.
Yeah,
if you continue with
Jamaican Kenny Rogers.
Yes, yes.
Because he was a strong influence on your career as well.
Exactly. So, it started from there.
All right, lovely. And due to that encouragement and support, you continue where you landed several other singles and major collabs with even dancehall superstars such as Busy Signal, Massacre, Lali. So you merge it with the young and the old, and and among others. But one of your most popular track was the Poor Country Boy. What was this track story or concept that kind of gave it's such an impactful insight?
Well, as I said, the lyrics of my songs speaks volume. A poor country boy, that's what I really was, just a poor country boy. And it doesn't matter what I have, even today, I'm still that poor country boy. Because I'm always thinking about those persons who was in a similar situation as that I was at that time. Because as I said, my music is about the message. Whatever I can impart, whatever I can do, wherever you are in your life, you can make a difference. You can be unique in your own way. You don't have to be like everybody else. Create a lane for yourself.
True.
That's what I did, and Poor Country Boy speaks a whole lot about my life story growing up in country, listening to my mother, poor country boy. That's what I was.
Okay. And moving forward to your musical growth, 5 years later, how would you describe the journey so far since then when you started in 2020 to now?
Wow. The journey is such a wonderful experience, There's so much to say, I met quite a bit of influential characters, in different circles, producers, artists. I'm able to tour the world. I'm able to see so many different sides and perspective on music. Being able to, one of my biggest opportunity was being able to go to Nashville, which is the heart of country music. Interact with musicians and artists there, to the extent where I am now doing an album that is coming out of Nashville.
Okay.
And it's not easy to get to that level because as a person who was just thrown into this thing by storm, that is, when you just start a journey like music and you are now in the hands of producers and musicians who know notes, who knows keys and all of that, and you only know about business, you know about people, you know about
Policing.
communities and so on.
Yeah.
But you don't know how to sing on a key. That's a different ball game entirely when you're going into there. So I too went through a lot of what should I say now, rough times. Sing on key, man, sing on point. You know, I have to get a lot of training. I have to, you know, listen to the people who are there, because when you want to succeed in music, you have to be able to can listen to and follow instructions. You cannot go with your own ideology. You know, they see the product that you have, but it needs to be shaped and refined.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people are interested in you, because they see the product you have, but they have their own perspective of how you should journey or the route that you should take.
Okay.
And so a lot of producers are interested in my product right now.
That's nice.
Yes.
So how would you collectively describe the journey, though? Like, to sum it up.
The journey has been wonderful. You know, as I said, I wouldn't have traded for anything else. You know, as I said, it helped me to know people and to know the world.
Okay.
You know, and the future is just big for me. You know, and I'm happy for that, and I thank God that He has helped me to be able to realize my passion to a point where I can actually, you know, live it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And, you know, while living your passion, you have also most recently, one of your most recent single, which is a trending dancehall kind of vibe, that is creating quite a buzz on social media. They're getting a lot of social media interactions, especially on TikTok, is Ride Cowboy Ride. What's going on with this single, and what was the concept inside your head when you decided to pen this one?
Yeah, Natasha.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Sure.
Heard the Ride Cowboy Ride is the summer coming out, and want, you know, people want to have fun and have time, and you want them to know that country can be fun.
That's love. That's true. I like that.
And people will gravitate into Europe. People to Europe, people are singing the song, and people like that, China, all over. Yeah, so
it's kind of more upbeat side to country music.
Country.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun with country.
All right, you can go ahead.
That's what the question.
All right, in one of your most recent catchy single, which, you know, kind of trends some more on the dancehall side, it's creating quite a buzz on social media, getting a lot of social interactions, especially on TikTok. Ride Cowboy Ride. What was the concept behind this song when you decided to pen this particular track?
Okay, well, Ride Cowboy Ride is my latest single, and it was a deliberate act for me to write a song that is going to be a part of the fun-loving audience, you know, people who enjoy dancing and who can understand that, well, country music is not the boring classic music that that modern or younger people, our audience would consider it to be.
Yeah.
And music is always evolving, you know, and it is for the writers and the producers and the makers of music to understand that there's no way that a music can grow if static.
Yeah.
It can't be, because people change, life change, and what I see happening today is people are gravitating to new sounds. So what I'm doing is to make country music a little bit more fun-loving, you know, something that you can enjoy, because it goes with the fashion too.
Yeah.
So you have the classical cowboy, but you have the modern cowboy. The classical cowboy may ride horses, but the modern cowboy may ride a big bike. You know, you can identify with a big truck with big wheels.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all about the fashion too. You know, we're living in the tropics, so we can't dress in a lot of felt clothing and the big boots like that, but we can add the fashion to the boots. We can add the fashion to the hat.
Yeah.
We can make it trendy.
Yeah.
You know, and Wesrok is doing that when I do this single, Ride Cowboy Ride, because Ride Cowboy can be identified with just anything, riding a bike. I mean, the dancehall setting, you will see how these guys gyrate and ride. They ride all kind of different, it's just a perception now, and make it fun-loving and enjoying. Yes.
And it's just in time for the summer.
And the
right?
summer is here, so, you know, it's a lot of fun time. So we have to get the song out there for the time.
Yeah.
So Ride Cowboy Ride is just a timely release.
The upbeat and fun and
fun-loving and, you know, just enjoyable and happy.
All right, good. And as you just mentioned earlier, you know, with the shift in music and it evolving over the years, in this local music and dancehall space, where we're seeing where dancehall music is reclaiming its space both locally and internationally. Do you think that there is still a place for this type of music in the local musical scene?
Of course. Remember, it started many years ago here, even long before dancehall became what it is now. You know, music is always evolving. Dancehall has evolved from the earlier classical reggae music. So, as I said, modern people require modern sound and creativity, and the new sound is what is going to, you know, take it to the next level. So that's what is opening up here now. The world wants a new sound. They're just tired of hearing the whole thing over and over again. So what we need to do as musicians, though, is to try and to look at the lyrics of what we're putting out, other than the sound, and to create a balance, because we have young children growing up. And, you know, we have to be careful of how we, you know, the message we're sending to our youths.
True.
So I would say let us tone down a little bit in terms of the language, and I know that we can do it. You know, just channel some wonderful lyrics and get the sound out there.
Yeah. So you'd encourage more artists to try this form of music?
Of course. You know, as I said, it is trending.
Yeah.
You know, and trending doesn't necessarily mean it's not the lyrics that is trending so much.
Yeah.
It is the sound.
It is the sound.
And people want songs that can let them move and gyrate and enjoy themselves. You know, it's far from just sitting down and having that classical age. You know, that's an age that has passed and gone by. But we can learn from that age and grow the music in a positive way. You know, that's what I'm interested in. A lot of people are interested in trying country. They like the fashion. They like the setting, because, as I said, you know, country music is a staple music, you know, and we just have to make it fun and develop on it.
Okay. How do you personally plan to make a country reggae a strong part of local music in Jamaican culture?
Well, you know, it's all about the topics, you know, and it's all about how you can blend sounds, you know. So if I am a country singer and I sing a song on a reggae beat, you're going to get a different sound, you know? And so that's what's happening. I'm different from the person who is just a reggae singer and trying to fuse reggae with country music. You know, I'm a little bit beyond that, because I have a unique vocal.
I was gonna get
and
there.
I can, when I step on the stage, you can see a Jamaican country artist. So I blend the linguistic with the sound, and I give you something that is new, it's unique, it's different.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to, what should I say, to water down country music. I'm not trying to water down reggae music. I'm trying to present a sound to develop on these existing sounds, because music is not static. You know, we are here where we are because of listening to other sounds and developing on those sounds. See Africa with the Afrobeat, it's a little of Jamaican music in it. And that's what's happening here now. It has taken the world by storm. So what do? We just have to get on with the ride and just become creative in our space. Try not to just do what everybody's doing.
That's true.
And say what everybody's saying. Try to be yourself, and it will come out.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on the sound, because as you expressed in Ride Cowboy Ride, in your Ride Cowboy Ride single, and I was gonna ask for the rest of us, where did you get that sound? You just develop it overnight.
All right. So you know, every song I sing is a story. You know, it has a start. You know, entire body, and then it has a ending. So again, it is speaking about me. You know, I choose to do something different. I choose to relive the moments of country music in a Jamaican scenario. You know, so I naturally am born with this sound.
Oh.
So I'm not creating a sound to sound like someone. When I speak country. When I sing country. So the most part is done already. So it's just to get on a beat, and the rest is history. You know, so that is how this song came about. You know, people ask me every time, are you a Jamaican?
Yes.
And I said, yes.
So too.
People overseas, we hear the song for the first time. Is he from Nashville? No, but yes, a Jamaican accent. Or you put the Jamaican lyrics into the country song, which sounds very great. Yeah, that's what we really want.
Maybe it's the Indian in you. You have that kind of
yeah, well, you know, sometimes we don't even know how to explain who we are and where we get things from. It's our old biological makeup.
Yeah.
It's a gene within us.
Yeah.
You know, but we just have to see what we have, work on what we have, and do something with it.
Okay, great. And what's the overall impact that you are hoping that your musical style will have on your fans?
Well, first and foremost, I believe that this song, Ride Cowboy Ride, has the potential to do well on the Billboard chart. I believe it has the potential to win a Grammy. I believe it has the potential to sell the new album that is coming up, because it's a main track from the album, which is a country album. So I'm looking forward to have great things coming out of this song.
Okay. And as for your career, you know, taking you onto some more big stages, both locally and internationally, as we've seen you in the past on Rebel Salute, Stars Are Us, Reggae Sumfest, and so forth.
Yeah.
What's that one main goal that you're hoping to achieve from a career in music?
Well, you know, I'm expecting to realize my full potential with reaching to a level where I become a legend in this area, like a Bob Marley, like a Jimmy Cliff, like, you know, Dennis Brown, those people who have mastered their craft.
Yeah.
You know, I could call many other names, right? The thing is this, that once you master your craft, your name is going to be called one way or the other. True. But it's not the accolades that I'm most interested in, though that will come, is to be able to become a professional musician, a name that many people across the world can identify as someone who started a dream.
Yeah.
Yes, and that dream has come true, and I'm able to change the world, hopefully in a positive way.
Lovely, lovely. And just before you go, how is it that you managed to, as you mentioned before, your a thriving entrepreneur. You have business running through your blood as well as music. How do you manage to balance both sides?
Well, everything is about balance. You know, earlier I spoke about being able to have that balance through that forces on the outside.
Okay.
You have forces on the inside and you have forces on the outside. When you're able to balance the force on the inside with the force on the outside, then that you reach what is referred to as an equilibrium.
Yeah.
So I depend on God to direct me. You know, there are some things I just can't do.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I don't think I can kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I can. I don't have the art or the desire to do that. So it's a balance that I've created that has caused me to reach to that level of appreciation and respect for life.
Right.
So I use that as an example because, you see, to create a balance, you have to have a reference point. You have to have something that is going to speak to your moral.
Mm-hmm.
So within us, there's negative forces and positive forces. The negative forces can only be countered and tempered by positive forces. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when a lot of negative things are around me and I don't know what to do, I just listen to maybe an inspirational speech from someone or a music. Mm. You know, so I use positive to counter negative, and that is how I create a balance.
Okay, lovely. And just before we wrap, can you tell us some more about the album that you have coming out? Is there a title for it, and how many tracks can we expect? And is it just country or country reggae?
It is in most part going to be a mixture of country music and reggae music, because that's what I'm identified with. You know, I do not want to say so much country reggae music.
Oh, okay.
It's music for me. You know, so the album that is coming up, as I said, the main track that we're pushing now, the single, is Ride Cowboy Ride. And that should tell you what the album is going to be like. We haven't decided fully the name of the album. It may be called Ride Cowboy Ride, depending on how well this single does. But that is an intention. And it will have a mixture and collaboration of a few artists. Okay. And we are thinking of having at least 12 tracks on it. Okay. So, you know, for most part, it is completed to a point, but we are still working on it, and looking forward to have it in the first quarter of next year. Okay. Yes.
That's not bad. And this is an album that was inspired while you were in Nashville? That's art.
Oh yes. You know, I think every musician should visit Nashville.